There are good opinions. The Ronto Wrap is a culinary masterpiece. There are bad opinions. Carousel of Progress is boring. And then there are the worst opinions of all. The ones that are preventing you from having a good time at Disney World. It's a terrible thing, but I'm here to help. Hi, I'm James from Guide to WDW, and as a self-certified Disney World expert on the internet, I actually hear a ton of bad information about Disney all the time. Everyone is entitled to their opinions, but the problem is that these hot takes add unnecessary stress, make people miss out on some great experiences, and completely misunderstand what Walt Disney was trying to do with these parks in the first place. Because Guide to WDW is all about helping you have the best vacation possible, I'm going to tackle the most common falsehoods that make it harder or even impossible for you to have fun on vacation. These are the things that people get absolutely wrong about a Disney World vacation. It's just for kids. There's a key moment in the lore of the creation of Disneyland. Walt Disney took his daughters to Griffith Park. He sat on a bench while they had fun on a merry-go-round and thought to himself, "This is so boring. I wish I could get back to my train set at home." Okay, the Disney documentaries don't put those exact words in his head, but as a fellow dad, I know what he was really thinking. But the official story goes that as he sat on that bench, he thought,
there should be something built, some kind of an amusement enterprise built where that the parents and the children could have fun together.
This thought served as one of the big inspirations for creating Disneyland. Disney didn't design a place that was just for kids. The parks do appeal to the kid at heart, your less serious, more fun side, which I think can make some adults feel uncomfortable for some reason. But because this is a video on Disney World and not psychology, let's breeze right past that. Even if you don't have kids, Disney can be a great time. There are a ton of experiences that are geared just towards adults. Disney World has fine dining, spas, bars, including one of the best tiki bars in the country. When I didn't have kids, I loved going to Disney World, as much for those grown-up experiences as for the rides I loved while I was growing up. And as an adult, there's so much more that I appreciate now, like the craftsmanship and detail that go into all the themed environments. Disney World isn't just for kids, it's for everyone. I'm not gonna take my kids until they remember it. On one hand, I get it. Disney World can be an investment, and people want to get the most out of it by waiting until their kids are a bit older and will have memories of going on this magical vacation. But you don't hear people saying, "Oh, I won't bring my kids to the zoo or the beach until they remember it." The best argument I can have for taking a really little kid to Disney World is that it's a ton of fun for them. There are playgrounds, an aquarium, a petting zoo, tons of kid-friendly rides, plus the characters. And kids under 3 get into the parks for free and eat for free at certain restaurants. For me personally, I have to admit it's a little selfish. It's more for me than for my son Griffin. No, that doesn't mean we spend the whole time at Trader Sam's, although a man can dream, but I just really love seeing him have fun. Seeing the parks through his eyes has given me a deeper level of appreciation for Disney World. Plus, it's created a lot of fun for us outside the vacation. My son still talks about the Figment ride and the Tiki Birds, and we listen to the ride music all the time. When my son first met Mickey Mouse, he had just turned 2, and he freaked out like he was meeting a celebrity, like shaking the whole thing. He giggled, and then they played peekaboo together. It was one of the most pure moments I've ever experienced. I know he won't remember it, but I will never forget that. So if a Disney World vacation is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for you, I get it. You want to pick the best age, which is probably around 6 to 8 years old. That's a sweet spot for core childhood memories and Disney magic. But if the only thing holding you back is that you're worried that your kids won't remember it, I definitely think that you should reconsider. I can just wing it. I see this mistake a lot. Going to Disney World without some planning can be a disaster, like not realizing that you have to make park reservations and then getting turned away at the gate. Or you might not know that a ride is too intense and spend most of your day feeling sick. Or you could just miss out on some of the best things that the parks have to offer. True story. I've actually heard from 2 different sets of parents that they went to Magic Kingdom and didn't realize that there was anything more than Fantasyland. And so they just didn't do anything beyond that. So a bit of research ahead of time can make a big difference. You can find out the best rides, best places to eat, where to stay, and just how to make the most of your time at Disney. However, since you've gotten this far in this video, you probably won't have a time with just winging it. You're more likely to have something in the realm of the next falsehood. Disney World requires too much planning. You might think, ugh, I have to plan every minute of every day. Or if you enjoy planning, I get to plan every minute of every day. Look, there is definitely some truth to this. Disney World requires some planning ahead. For example, you have to make some dining reservations 60 days ahead of time for the most in-demand restaurants. But let's approach this falsehood from both ends of the spectrum. First, to the people like me who love figuring out the most optimal plan to navigate the parks and get the most things done. You can definitely overplan your Disney vacation. I love a spreadsheet as much as the next person. Check out our free pocket planner on guide2wdw.com, link in description. But there's a tipping point where it becomes less helpful and more stressful, like having 3 dining reservations in a day or sprinting across the park to make your next lightning lane in time. Things will not go according to plan. Rides will break down. People will get hangry, a thunderstorm will blow through. Having some flexibility can make sure that your plan to have fun doesn't get in the way of actually having fun. Now, to the there's no room for spontaneity crowd, you can actually have a very spontaneous Disney World vacation. There's just a minimal amount of planning that you need to do beforehand. Buy your tickets and make your hotel and theme park reservations ahead of time. Then I would encourage you to go into Epcot's World Showcase in the morning and explore each country, or take things slow at Animal Kingdom and really soak in the details. Don't want to worry about dining reservations? Use the walk-up list in the app, or go to one of the great counter service restaurants, no reservations required. Spontaneity is a mindset. Look, if you're allergic to planning, like the word plan makes you break out in hives, well, if that's the case, I'm so sorry I've been saying it so much, and you should really see a doctor about that. But if you just hate planning, then you should work with the official travel agency of Guide to WDW by clicking the link in the description. They are Disney experts who do all the planning for you, like making reservations, so you can just show up and have fun. And the best part is that there's no extra cost to you. You have to spend the whole time on the phone. Once again, there is a kernel of truth to this. The My Disney Experience app has become a crucial tool for navigating Disney World. It has wait times, dining reservations, mobile order, virtual queue, lightning lane. It's a lot. And I get comments all the time that Disney is taking away the fun of a vacation by forcing you to be on your phone the entire time. But let's unpack this a little bit, because when I go to Disney World, I don't feel glued to my phone. You need the app to join the virtual queue, but the virtual queue is only used on 2 rides right now, and at most you'll need to be on your phone for 5 to 10 minutes on a day that you want to go on one of those rides. Genie Plus is probably the biggest culprit of this idea. Because you have to spend extra money on Genie Plus, there's this feeling that you need to maximize value by constantly checking to see if you can get a lightning lane. However, you can take a more chill approach than that. With Genie Plus, once you make a lightning lane reservation, you can't make another one until either you use that reservation or 2 hours have passed, whichever is sooner. So don't spend all day checking to see what's available. Make a reservation, and then check again either when you get in line for that lightning lane, or set a timer for 2 hours if that time slot is later than that. If you take this approach, you'll spend way less time looking at Genie Plus than you do looking at Instagram. By the way, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Guide2Disney. Or just skip Genie Plus altogether and maximize your time by showing up early for rope drop. Dining is the other big use for the My Disney Experience app that can suck up time, but if you don't want to spend time on your phone, either make reservations ahead of time or eat at off-peak dining hours so you don't need to mobile order. Think of the phone features as a convenience and not a requirement. There's nothing for kids at EPCOT. Is it fair that I'm making all these opinions have the stupidest voice possible? No, but it is my video. EPCOT has a reputation as Disney World's adult theme park. There's a good reason for that, but I can't drink of it right now. Mexico! But EPCOT is actually an incredible park for kids. There are kid-friendly rides like Frozen Ever After, Grand Fiesta Tour, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Living with the Land, Journey into Imagination with Figment, Ratatouille. My son even loves Spaceship Earth. EPCOT has some great play areas for kids, like the Green Landing Family Play Zone in World Discovery, Journey of Water inspired by Moana once it opens, and the interactive play areas in the post-ride areas for Journey into Imagination and Mission Space. Look out for KidCot stations located in each pavilion in World Showcase, which have coloring kits and collectible cards. Inside the Seas Pavilion, you'll find an extremely impressive aquarium. In fact, this is the second largest aquarium in the United States. Seabase features over 60 different species, from manatees to dolphins. So, EPCOT is awesome for kids. Animal Kingdom is just a zoo. Since it opened in 1998, there's been a complaint about Animal Kingdom that it's a lesser theme park. It's just a zoo, it's a half-day park. Some of this has dissipated since the opening of Pandora, the World of Avatar, but this notion still lingers, and it is so wrong. Animal Kingdom is an incredible theme park, with some of the most elaborately themed areas in all of Disney World. Yes, there are things in common with zoos. You can see wild animals and learn something new about nature. But Animal Kingdom has a transportive quality that you won't find at a typical zoo. I've been to the famed San Diego Zoo, which is a great zoo, but it doesn't touch Animal Kingdom. Plus, Animal Kingdom has fantastic food, 2 of the best shows at Disney World, and 3 of the top 10 rides, including a full-blown safari that will never get old no matter how many times you ride it. Animal Kingdom is amazing, and if you skip it because it's just a zoo, you're missing out. February is the best month to go! It's become somewhat conventional wisdom that February is a great month to go to Disney World for lower crowds, but that's just plain wrong. February is packed with Valentine's Day, President's Day weekend, and the Run Disney Princess Half Marathon. Last year, February had the 3rd highest wait times in 2 out of the 10 most crowded weeks. Now, that doesn't mean to avoid the entire month. February has great weather, plus there's the EPCOT Festival of the Arts. The first half of the month isn't too bad, but if you've heard that February is a slam dunk for cool weather and low crowds, yeah, that's just wrong. What's the worst piece of Disney World advice that you've heard? Let me know in the comments. So enough with things that are wrong. If you are looking for some of the best Disney World tips and advice, subscribe to Guide to WDW so you don't miss our other videos, like our foolproof method to join the virtual queue, which you can watch here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon.